Now, just to be crystal clear from the get-go, this is not the top 10 games of all time. This is not my top 10 games of all time. This may not even be your favourite games. But this is just 10 of some of the best games I've ever played for reasons. Now, of course, in the title is Volume 1, because there are many games I consider the best games I've ever played. There's absolutely loads. It's very difficult for me to create a top 10, because I do enjoy so many games. However, there are a collection of games that just had more of an impact than others, and this is part 1 of that. So hopefully you like some of the games on this list, but obviously we're getting started straight away with The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 came out nearly 10 years ago. I recently just played through it again, and it is just a fantastic game with a great story, great characters, an absolute buttload of content, a fantastic music, and just really made the world of The Witcher come alive. And if you haven't tried The Witcher 3 yet, it always goes on offer for like £8 to £10, and that is an absolute steal for this monster of a game.
White Wolf, at last.
Up next is one of the greatest game creations ever, and that is Breath of the Wild. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, of course. And what Nintendo did with this game was just chuck Link into a world where you can go wherever you want and do things however you want to do them. You can snowboard or like surf down grass on your shield. You can create fires out of different items. You can cook food. There are side quests to do that you have to find your own way around all the different shrines. You can climb any surface unless it's raining, and then it makes it slippery. You can find all types of hidden weapons and items, and Breath of the Wild is just complete freedom, and I became supremely addicted to it when it came out. Tears of the Kingdom is still very, very good, but for me personally, I think Breath of the Wild just had more magic to it. I do like Tears of the Kingdom, but the building things in it is just, that just goes way over my head. Now up next, I know I'm going to lose a lot of people now, and they're going to rage quit, thumb down this video and naff off, and that's fine if you want to do that. But as a game, The Last of Us Part 2 is fantastic with its gameplay. I agree the story should have been done differently. I don't necessarily have a problem with what happened, because after playing the first game, it was going to happen. Something, there were going to be repercussions, but I think the way the story was done wasn't the best. But I've said this in every video. But that being said, I do like the story. I do not hate Abby. I like the fact that Neil Druckmann made The Last of Us 2 where no one is truly good and no one is truly bad. It's like there are good and bad in everybody, and even Ellie goes on a bit of a selfish tirade in this game, and as a game, it is really, really good, and especially with the no return mode where you can play as loads of different characters from the story and just play in these roguelike scenarios. It just adds a whole new level of replayability, not to mention you have the grinded mode anyway, and all the different difficulties and things that you can do to the single player campaign to make it, to adapt it to however you want to play it. But The Last of Us Part 2, when it comes to PC, I highly recommend people check it out. Yes, it was hated on launch by a lot of people who are fans of Joel, for example, but sometimes what you want is not what you get, but sometimes they don't give you what you want, but they give you what you need. That makes sense? Up next is what, in my opinion, is the best pirate game. Sea of Thieves was launched with bare bones ass content and has become a content filled absolute great time. There are safer seas for those that don't want to have people just start attacking them on the random, because that does happen. It is a pirate game. You do get some people that just go out of their way to chase you down. It happens to me more often than not as I just spawn in and I just stand by and say, go on lads, go ahead, sink my ship. I've got enough gold to buy it back again and I'll just hop into another server. You're going to gain nothing and you're not pissing me off because I've lost nothing, so ta-la. But beside that, there's so much to do. It's got a beautiful art style. There's so much freedom. There's the fishing you can do. There's all the different treasure hunts you can do and the bounties you can do and obviously the tall tales that you can do. And there's just so much in Sea of Thieves and it just begs to be explored all the time. And they just keep adding to it and making it great. Yes, you can now crouch and sneak in the game, which is fine. I don't really use that so much. I just kind of go about and do my own thing. But I love playing this game solo and with friends. Unfortunately, I don't have enough friends that play Sea of Thieves, so that's unfortunate. But for the most part, Sea of Thieves to me is just a whole lot of fun. Dragon Ball is my favourite manga and favourite anime and has been for over 25 years. Ever since I found it on Cartoon Network and I fell in love with it, I now have all of them on DVD and Blu-ray, and that's Dragon Ball, Z and Super. I refer to all of it as Dragon Ball because that's what the manga was, and I just absolutely love it. And Kakarot is, in my opinion, the best Dragon Ball game, and it's my favourite Dragon Ball game. I know Sparking Zero has just come out, and I will be honest, I haven't played it. I do like the look of it, but I wasn't part of the Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi thing many years ago. I did try out Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi last year, I believe, and made a video on it, and was very impressed. And it is really, really cool. However, for me, it's not just the fighting in Dragon Ball that I like. I love the characters and the story and the adventure. That's what's most important to me. And the fighting is obviously really, really awesome. And I've heard and obviously watched reviews the same as everybody else on Sparking Zero. And it looks phenomenal. The combat looks great, but I'm not happy with the way they handled the single player side of it. It doesn't look quite as good as Kakarot's. Kakarot's just handles it all well. And we're getting the new Dragon Ball Daima stuff, which looks really, really cool, and I just can't wait. They're making Dragon Ball Z Kakarot the go-to single-player Dragon Ball game, and I'm here for it. The combat is simple, yes, but it's really fun, and you can create some really awesome combos and moments with the simple system. It's really damn good. The original Resident Evil 2 is itself one of the best games ever. However, the remake is so damn good. I know there are some purists out there that don't like it, and that's unfortunate, because what Capcom did with the Resident Evil 2 remake was just blow my mind. I'm recently playing through this again on the Steam Deck. It runs incredibly well on the Steam Deck if you haven't tried it. And it's just so damn good. The atmosphere, the graphics, the gameplay, the RE engine is a beautiful engine. And they've done really well with Resident Evil 2 and 4 remakes. The Resident Evil 3 remake is fine, but it was blatantly rushed out and just more of an afterthought for them. Now, I hope they do Code Veronica, and I hope they redo 5 and make it more scary and awesome, and I don't know if they're going to bother touching 6. I wouldn't if I was them. But Resident Evil 2 just has so much in it. You could play through it as Claire, play through it as Leon. You also have the extra survivor stories with Hunk and the gun shop keeper and all that as well. There's loads to do in Resident Evil 2. There's loads of reasons to play through it. Different speeds and different difficulties, and do what you can. It's so damn good and a fantastic survival horror.
You save yourself first.
Help me, please!
Once again, like with Sea of Thieves, Cyberpunk 2077 was not launched great, but now has become a fantastic first-person RPG. It is so damn good. The world of Night City just feels alive. It just feels like there's stuff there. There's loads of stuff for you to do within the game. They've put in loads of options in there for more immersion. The characters are really, really good. The story is really good. The side stories are really good. Cyberpunk 2077 is a fantastic time now. Like, I can 100% recommend. In my opinion, Cyberpunk has become a 10 out of 10 game and is incredibly awesome. And I always love hopping into Night City and just playing through everything it has to offer, and especially with all the different combat upgrades that you can have now, like with the katana and all that. I really love upgrading that to the point where I can deflect bullets back at people. That is incredibly satisfying and awesome. Yeah, the stealth kills are pretty lame, unfortunately, and that's my biggest gripe with the game, I think, is that you either twist their head or you grab their head in like a reverse headlock and then snap their neck. That's it. That's the only two you get. You don't get, if you're holding a blade, you don't get to shank them, which is unfortunate. But Cyberpunk 2077 is fantastic.
Out of my house! No!
Elden Ring is like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but obviously Dark Souls. They took the open worldness where you can just go out and go in this direction and find things, and From Software they went to town with it. Elden Ring is fantastic. There is absolutely loads of content, a lot of it optional. There's loads of bosses, there's loads of weapons and armor to find, and they put in the mount, and they just created an incredible world. And I haven't tried out the DLC Shadow of the Erdtree, probably not going to, if I'm honest. They've added no achievements, and for me personally, that just kind of alleviates any need to play it, because I'm a little bit of an achievement hunter. However, for those that really do enjoy Elden Ring, I'm sure that Shadow of the Erdtree is the way to go. But Elden Ring itself, the base game, is damn huge. The map is huge, and I'm always going through it and playing it in different ways and trying to better myself. I'm not amazing at it, and I've only ever beaten it once, but I do own it on PC and Xbox Series X, and I absolutely love the game.
Champions, welcome! A celebration of war! Paragon Festival!
Red Dead Redemption 2, now in my personal opinion, is on a technical level the best game ever made, with its animations and its world and the AI for the NPCs. Red Dead Redemption 2 is phenomenal. It's a slower paced game and a slower way it's played, of course, because it's more of a cowboy simulator really, but it's the best cowboy simulator or best cowboy game ever, in my opinion, of course. The story is fantastic. The character of Arthur Morgan is told incredibly well, especially with the choices that you can make throughout the game to be honorable or dishonorable. The hunting and fishing alone is its own hunting game within a game. The fact that you can contribute to the camp and you can play games with the other members of your crew, and you can do all these other optional things, and Red Dead Redemption 2 has so much. There's the bounty hunts, which there aren't enough of. The multiplayer you can keep. I'm not really a fan of the multiplayer, but the single player alone is huge, phenomenal. The map is massive, and I just absolutely love Red Dead Redemption 2.
Always Dutch.
And lastly, to top off Volume 1, and it's got to be my game of the year, and obviously, so mild spoiler alert for my top 10 games of 2024 list, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is, for me as a Final Fantasy VII fan, it was a dream come true. This game just took all the moments of the original Final Fantasy VII for the section of the game that it's covering, and just brought it all to life and blew it all up and made it more amazing than I thought they were going to. This game makes Resident Evil Remake look like a demo, and I have a few videos on Final Fantasy VII, so please go and check those out. I think if I remember, I will tag any relevant videos to all these lists to other videos I've made on them, going into more detail in case you wanted to hear me ramble about any of them. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is phenomenal. The combat system is awesome. They did incredibly well with the story, the characters, the efforts behind the game is insane, and I really do hope they bring it to PC soon so I can double dip, get it on the Steam Deck, and enjoy it even more. But thank you very much for watching. This was Volume 1, so I will have Volume 2 coming out very, very shortly. I'm expecting some hatred for The Last of Us 2 being in there, but I'm sorry, that's just my opinion, and, well, I'm not sorry, so there, take it. Take it like a man, or woman, depending on what you are. But please let me know any games that had a massive lasting impact on you in the comments down below, and thank you again.
Not on my ship.
There will be consequences.
Now, make us proud.
She'll go far.
Hey, get a room, will ya?